Good evening, everyone. Tonight we'll fill you in on the UMass 2016 Blarney policy for the upcoming Blarney blowout.
And later we'll tell you about the passing of the longest-serving member of the Supreme Court justices.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Aria Daly.
And I'm Garza. And you're watching UMass News Now. In a lawsuit filed earlier this month, Dr. Roger Ian Hardy of the Fertility Centers of New England Fertility Clinic was accused of sexually assaulting a patient during a 2013 medical procedure. Now, Hardy faces a similar accusation from another clinic patient. Investigators from the Middlesex District Attorney's Office interviewed a woman who alleged inappropriate contact from Hardy during a June 2012 ultrasound imaging test. The former patient has hired a lawyer and plans to sue Hardy, a former clinic owner, and the clinic itself. The Fertility Center's attorney, Nicholas DeMoro, has refused to comment on the new accusation. Hardy resigned his medical license and distanced himself from the fertility clinics following a 2014 Board of Registration and Medicine investigation. Hardy was approached by a reporter from the Boston Globe last year as part of an ongoing investigation into a string of similar allegations against him. But he has since made no statements regarding the accusations or litigation.
Winterfest, an annual event featuring music, games, food, and fireworks, has been postponed due to the extreme cold that Massachusetts has been experiencing in the recent days. Executive Director Sarah LaCour states, quote, "The safety of our participants and volunteers is our #1 priority. We want everyone to have a fun and positive experience at Winterfest." The new date is set to February 20th at 1 p.m.
Speaking of extreme temperatures, the rapid shift in weather is causing significant difficulties for the Pioneer Valley. Following the deep weekend freeze, Amherst Fire Chief Walter Nelson said about 40 homes and commercial properties were damaged from burst pipes, with possibly more to come as temperatures fluctuate. Roads and sidewalks contained a slushy mess of water and ice Tuesday morning, further complicated by heavy rainfall in the afternoon. According to meteorologists, the combination of rain and slush is expected to result in icy road conditions when temperatures drop back down to freezing during weeknights. Heading into the weekend, highs are expected to be just about freezing, and the National Weather Service reports a 60% chance of snow Friday night.
Greenfield Community College was forced to close campus after a pipe burst at 4:30 a.m. on Tuesday. The broken water line caused damage to classrooms and offices. Lieutenant Andrew Each of Greenfield Fire Department said that heavy water had been flowing from the ceilings, creating, quote, "a lot of water." Due to this damage, the college has decided to postpone the application deadline for the nursing program. Campus reopened at 4 p.m. on Tuesday following the college's regularly planned schedule.
An investigation found that numerous staff of the Peck School in Holyoke committed an excessive use of force and physical restraint against special needs students, according to state officials. The Boston-based Disability Law Center published a report in December alleging a system of abuse at Peck and claimed that students from grades 4 to 8 were thrown to the floor, slapped in the face, and locked in closets. Shortly after, officials from the Holyoke Public Schools and the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education launched a joint investigation into the Peck allegations. Called a systemic failure by education officials due to the lack of oversight and support within the school, little to no training and the improper use of force resulted in over 200 instances of physical restraint against students, some of which resulted in head injuries, bruises, and difficulty breathing. Holyoke Public Schools are working with the Disability Law Center to rectify the problems identified within the Peck program.
Coming up, we'll fill you in on the results of the German train crash last week.
And later we'll tell you about a federal judge's plan to unlock the iPhones of one of the shooters in the San Bernardino terrorist attack. Stay tuned.
Okay, guys, ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're live.
Probe Voyager 1 crossed out of our solar system, being the first man-made product to do so.
And find out what exciting event UMass is planning for our homecoming weekend.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Liz Streppa.
Say Kyla and Daniel.
That's going to be us in 20 years, Kyla. 20
Exactly.
years.
If students don't start returning the locks and towels that they borrow, they might soon be locked out of free rentals.
For an anchor shot,
Yeah, is that good or?
you want to zoom it out a little bit more.
For more news updates around campus, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Until next week, have a good night, UMass.
Sullivan Elementary School will soon be receiving a free playground. It is estimated that $25,000 will be spent on the renovation, going towards a greenhouse with solar panels, a playground, and an outdoor study space for the children. This has been made possible by the Northern Tree Care Services of Palmer and the American Environmental Incorporation of Holyoke. 3 other organizations that also spent time at the Sullivan Courtyard renovation were Local Laborers 596, Massachusetts Department of Transportation and Community of Holyoke. These renovations are scheduled to be finished in the fall.
Jose Robles of Taunton was arraigned in Brockton District Court today on charges of armed carjacking and robbery, negligent operation and receiving of stolen motor vehicle, operating with a suspended license, and failure to stop for police. Brockton police responded to a report of an armed carjacking at the Westgate Mall and arrived on the scene to find Robles confronting a woman and her infant with a gun. Robles left the scene in the woman's Toyota Camry with the woman and the infant still in the vehicle and entered the town of Stoughton, where he crashed the Camry into a pole and attempted to flee on foot. The carjacker was caught just seconds later by Trooper Ryan Walzak and 2 Plymouth County Sheriff's Department deputies.
A Subway restaurant in West Covina, California, found a newborn baby in a bathroom toilet on Monday, while his homeless mother, 38-year-old Mary Grace Trinidad, was found in a local auto parts store. Police were called in at 8:30 a.m. after employees saw a bleeding woman leaving. Police spokesman Rudy Lopez states, quote, "I've done this for 26 years. I thought I had seen everything. The baby is in critical condition due to the infant being submerged in water. This restaurant remains closed until cleaning crews have thoroughly cleaned the building."
A federal judge has ordered Apple to assist in the unlocking of an iPhone that was used by one of the shooters in the San Bernardino terrorist attack. The Justice Department stated that since Apple did not voluntarily provide assistance in accessing the private data of Syed Rizwan Farouk, it has sought a court order pushing the company to disable a security feature that would wipe the phone's data after a number of failed password attempts. Apple stated that the security feature cannot be circumvented, as the tech company does not hold the decryption key necessary to override the phone's encryption programming. In response, federal prosecutors claimed that Apple has the capability to write software disabling the feature on Farouk's phone, specifically while leaving other iPhones uncompromised. But another complication is the time required to crack a normal 6-digit code involving both numbers and letters, estimated to take up to possibly 10 years. Investigators continue to seek any material that could identify the motives and justification for the December 2nd attack on the Inland Regional Center.
After the recent deadly German train crash last week, prosecutors are now saying that this crash was caused by human error. A 39-year-old man opened a track to 2 trains. Although he tried warning the drivers, it was too late. These trains crashed head-on at approximately 60 miles per hour. This crash resulted in 11 deaths and a likely manslaughter charge for the area controller.
In response to North Korea's recent rocket launch, the United States has deployed 4 F-22 fighter jets over South Korea, countering what it claims is a provocative act from the North. The fighters are part of a series of assets deployed to the Korean peninsula, including Patriot missile interceptors and a low-altitude B-52 demonstration flight. The Republic of Korea and the U.S. stated that since the rocket launch was a long-range missile test, intended to further develop the North's ballistic missile technology and was in direct contravention of the UN Security Council resolutions. While the North Korean officials claimed that the country launched a communication satellite into space. South Korea and the U.S. are expected to begin talks of the deployment of an advanced missile defense system in the South as a deterrent against ballistic threats to the countries within the East Asian region. The F-22 overflight also precedes the annual U.S.-ROK joint military drills, which North Korea repeatedly claims are preparations for war despite South Korean and American reassurances that the drills are purely defensive in nature.
Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center computers have been shut down for more than a week due to a ransomware attack. Although a voicemail message was sent to the hospital stating that the medical records have not been accessed, the hackers are demanding $3.4 million to take back the stolen data. The hospital has hired computer forensic experts, the FBI, and Los Angeles police in an attempt to fix the problem. Fortunately, the hospital states that their operations have not been impacted, but their online tasks are now being done on paper.
Justice Antonin Nino Scalia, the longest-serving member of the Supreme Court justices at 3 decades and a champion of conservative intellectuality and constitutional originalism, was found dead Saturday morning at the Cibolo Creek Ranch Hunting Resort in West Texas. He was 79. A spokeswoman for the U.S. Marshals Service identified that Justice Scalia died from natural causes during the night before he was discovered by owner John Poindexter Saturday morning. And Chief Justice John Roberts released a statement from the Supreme Court's office officially confirming Justice Scalia's passing. As his absence now leaves the Supreme Court in an ideological stalemate with 4 liberal justices balanced by 4 conservatives, Senate Democrats and Republicans are preparing to support or block President Obama's eventual nominee for Justice Scalia's position. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called for a lack of action on the president's nominee and to let the next president decide who will fill the vacancy, while Democrats stood behind Obama's declaration of an impending nomination per constitutional authority. No such nomination has been made at this time.
We are now going to send it over to Leah and Eden for an all-new segment of Mass Hollywood.
Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to an all-new segment of Mass Hollywood. Here we'll tell you all the latest celebrity gossip. I'm Leah Geddes.
And I'm Eden Nagelski. So nearly 17 years after the tragic Columbine high school shootings took place in Jefferson County, Colorado, Dylan Klebold's mother is finally ready to speak out. Sue Klebold sat down with Diane Sawyer for a special edition of 2020 on Friday, February 12th, in which she admitted that she's had to come to terms with a lot of things since Eric Harris and her son, then both high school seniors, shot and killed 12 fellow students and a teacher, wounded 24 others, and fatally shot themselves. Dylan was 17, Harris was 18. Sue's memoir about the attacks, A Mother's Reckoning, Living in the Aftermath of Tragedy, came out on February 15th, and all profits from the book will go towards research and charitable donations focusing on mental health issues.
I think that's a nice thing to do after. Like, she definitely gave it a lot of time for it to settle down.
Absolutely. This is her first ever interview,
right.
So a lot of time has gone down.
And then to give all that money to like mental health, I think it makes a lot of sense, especially with everything
Absolutely.
else that's happened since then.
I think the victims' families will be very
right.
happy with
very, very happy.
this path that she's taken with the book and everything else.
Definitely. The 58th Annual Grammy Awards took place on Monday, and the Fashion Police told whom they thought looked best. Selena Gomez slayed the red carpet in a beautiful, sparkly blue Calvin Klein dress. They did not, however, think that Beyoncé's dress was best, saying as she looked more like she was in a costume.
Wow, that's harsh. Beyonce's
That
just
is
getting
harsh.
a lot of hate lately.
She is, I know. I don't really know what to think of all of it. I mean, I definitely agree. I think Selena Gomez looked great if you saw her dress.
Taylor Swift, I was pretty into her dress. Not so sure about the color blocking, but
yeah.
Hair, the bob, I was not that into that.
I didn't like the hair either. I loved when she had the long curls. I think that looked so good with her. I mean, she looks pretty good and everything, but I'm not a huge fan of the bob.
But speaking of Taylor Swift, she is the type of celebrity who opens up her home to fans for her album listening parties, but don't try and get too close without an invitation. So according to the Beverly Hills Police Department, a call was received around 12:30 p.m. on Saturday about a suspicious person outside of Swift's home. Police showed up and found the man outside the front of the singer's home for the BHBD. They spoke with the man and he left. So there were no citations made and no arrests were made either.
That's nuts.
I know. I mean, Taylor Swift's so nice to let people into her home. And when
don't take advantage of that.
Don't be that creepy guy that's going to stalk her outside.
Right.
Because it was trending on Facebook. No one likes this dude. So if you want to see Taylor Swift, be cool about it.
Get an invite first and take that with
Yeah,
have fun with it. Vanessa Hudgens and boyfriend Austin Butler went on a Valentine's Day vacation to Coquino National Forest and ended up causing a criminal investigation when they vandalized a rock. Hudgens shared a photo on Instagram that in the background displayed the couple's initials engraved in the rock. The image was deleted off Instagram, and the police are looking into the investigation. Yeah, you don't want to mess with a national
park. I saw
park.
that trending on Facebook today, and I was shocked. I mean, she went from High School Musical to now
vandalizing rocks.
Investigation. I mean, damn.
Just trying to do something cute on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, apparently that didn't go out
works.
so well. So be careful what you post on Instagram, basically.
Definitely.
But I mean, now for the big story. What's really going on between Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom? So Khloe and Lamar spent a whirlwind mini vacation in New York with her family, where they attended Kanye West's Yeezy Season 3 fashion show, marking Odom's first celebrity appearance since he suffered an overdose in October. And for those of you wondering if the two will be getting back together, don't count of it as of now, because though the former couple did spend Valentine's Day together, it was more the day of friendship than romantic love. It was Lamar's way of saying thank you to Khloe for all that she's done for him. And right now, Lamar's health is Khloe's top priority.
That's sweet.
It is cute that, I mean, Khloe has just been so nice and supportive to Lamar. I mean,
definitely.
She stopped her divorce proceedings when he went into the hospital. So I'm very interested to see if in the future she is really going to finalize the divorce. Or I don't know, it's been going on for a while. So
it's probably not something she wants to put on him, put in the media right now.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they'll always be close like that, but we'll just have to see how that pans out.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, rapper Kanye West went on yet another Twitter event where he took out his frustration about public education. Also, this past weekend, West was said to have a backstage meltdown before he performed on Saturday Night Live. Back to Twitter, he ranted about wanting to lower textbook prices and how the price of school puts many Americans in debt. I can agree with that.
Right,
with the textbook prices, it can get a little overwhelming. If you could donate some money my way, that'd be nice.
That would be nice. I'm curious to see how much, if any, money has Kanye given towards education and school books.
Love to see that.
I mean, we all know he has a lot of money,
Yeah.
but now we're not so sure, because for those of you trying to understand Kanye's money problems, we're just as confused as you are. So the rapper returned to Twitter on Monday to explain why he asked Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg for money and claimed to be $53 million in debt. Kanye stated, quote, "Yes, I am personally rich and I can buy furs and houses for my family, but I need access to more money in order to bring more beautiful ideas to the world. If I spent my money on my ideas, I cannot afford to take care of my family." Kanye then went on to add that for anyone that has money, they know the first rule is to use other people's money.
That's a little ridiculous.
It's a
I
bold
think he
statement.
has plenty of money for both his supporting his career and producing music and also supporting his family.
I know that his clothing lines and his past store brought in an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
It's not a new idea to use other people's money, but I
Right.
think he should be careful what he actually puts in print on Twitter.
I think so,
Because
too.
it's definitely going to skew people's perception of him.
Especially where Mark Zuckerberg is out donating to all these helpful causes. Come on,
He's doing
don't
really
ask
well.
him. Don't ask him.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have. So be sure to join us next week for more celebrity gossip. I'm Edie Nagelski.
And I'm Leah Geddes. Have a great night.
And that concludes tonight's newscast. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for all the latest local headlines and world news. I'm Aria Daly.
And I'm Ron Garza. Have a great night.